What's up, Duckers? It's Art here, getting ready to get stuff going. We are waiting for George and Lathan to jump online. This month we have Hell in a Cell, Triple H versus Cactus Jack from No Way Out 2000. We'll see y'all on the other side.
Previously on a Ducking Wrestling podcast.
Raven rules.
Well, I mean, it's.
I don't think that was his saying, but all right.
No? Have a good
Well,
time.
hell, he's from he's the part of the New
It's a nice day. It's a nice day.
Wait,
I fucked it up.
Which, by the way,
In the 90s, I was a Nitro girl.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to a Ducking Wrestling podcast, our February episode. I am joined once again by my two brothers. We've got that sexual chocolate, that chocolate thunder sitting over here to my right, or stage left, if you will. Down here on the bottom, we got Jorge Empanada, our favorite Jason Momoa lookalike if Jason Momoa was going to star in the Chris Farley documentary. Fellas, what's going on?
Shit. Oh, man. Good morning. How are y'all?
Hanging and banging, brother. Hanging and banging.
Oh. George,
My lawyer told me not to answer any questions.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Now I'm excited to watch this watch along. I love me some watch alongs.
Hell yeah. This month, we're going to do a watch along that Lathan actually decided on at our Royal Rumble party over here. So George had no input into it because he didn't show up. So
I was there in spirit.
he got deported. But he's back. It's fine. It's fine.
It was a misunderstanding. That's what they told me to say.
Just, yeah, situation that he was dealing with.
But this month,
That's the last time I speak Spanish on a podcast.
well, the problem was you were speaking Spanish at like Burger King, so they immediately assumed. But this month we are gonna do a watch along from the No Way Out pay-per-view in 2000. So this was Cactus Jack versus Triple H for the WWF Championship. They hadn't gotten the F out yet, so we're still in that WWF era. 2000 was a crazy year for me to think about anyway, because you had Cactus versus Triple H at the Royal Rumble that was an absolute banger and a really kind of hardcore match. You've got this one where Mick Foley has put his career on the line if he does not win the WWF Championship. And the worst thing that they said during this whole match was that Mick Foley was 34 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they said it multiple times. Mick Foley in this match is 34. And I'm like, Jesus, he looks 50.
Old
Were they saying that so often because it was supposed to make him look like old, or like he's too old for the business?
I don't know. JR mentions it like 4 times in the match. So, like, they're talking about him being a 15-year vet, and they're like, at 34 years old, Mick Foley is gonna be done. Like, holy shit, this dude's talking about being done, and he's 34. I'm 5 years older than him.
To be fair, he's done a lot with his body. He's 34 on the presentation because of years, right? But like at that point, he's like maybe like 67 in like wrestling years.
He's working on the dog years.
Yeah, he's living ahead of his time.
All right, so before we get started on this one, we've got a new jersey this month. Them fighting Texas Aggies, #1 in the nation in baseball, rocking and rolling. So we are still continuing with not a repeat of jerseys yet because I'm stupid and I keep buying shit. George has everybody who is just listening to this, you have to go to the YouTube channel or Rumble and just see the shirt George has on. It's the most ridiculous shirt I've ever seen, and I love it.
I love it too.
I can go hang out in the pool sometimes.
Yeah, man. I'm a believer.
All right, guys. So we are starting this. If you're at home getting ready to watch this along with us, it is season 2 of No Way Out, episode 1. We are going to be starting at the 2-hour, 4-minute, 31-second mark. It is a completely black screen. We are almost exactly 25 years to the day since this pay-per-view took place in Hartford, Connecticut, February 27th of 2000. So, fellas, let's get it going. We're going to hit that play button in 3, 2, 1, and play.
Oh, I got commercials.
Oh, of course you do.
I'm kidding.
So we're going to start it out with Triple H, which was kind of weird to have the champion come out first, but, whatever. And the best, I love the Motorhead version of Triple H's music, but the My Time Is Now that he picked up right after DX is still just a fucking banger when it comes to entrance music. Got that Big Eagle championship belt. That's probably my third favorite championship behind the Winged Eagle and the Undisputed championship belt. Got Triple H.
They need to bring back into this. If you can find a way to merge this title with the current WWE title look, that'd be so badass.
I wish they would. I get why they don't want to change it up because they send it to all the sports leagues and the champions and everything. So it's it has promotional value. The current one does. But yeah, I was really hoping when Kevin Owens was walking around with the Winged Eagle that they were going to do some kind of redesign on the WWE Undisputed Championship, which I hate the fact that they call it the Undisputed Championship because you've got the World Heavyweight Champion. So obviously it's not undisputed.
I mean, you could dispute that if you wanted to, but
I'm gonna.
It's just, it's just words now. Words don't mean that much in the bigger scheme of things.
So we get the sign in the crowd that just says Foley will die. God dang.
Hey, you know what I realized? When I picked this match initially, the one thing I was trying to remember about this match was there was a point where they were outside of the ring and I actually mistook this match for the Royal Rumble match they had, the pay-per-view before this.
Yeah.
And you see how Triple H's leg is taped up? You remember where that spot was from?
Yeah, that was the suplex on the pallet that one of the pieces of wood was sticking up and just jammed him in the leg.
This dude has the worst luck with his legs in the biggest spots in the world.
It's like him and Kevin Nash can go back and forth on leg injuries.
Seriously. But at least with Triple H's, he'll finish out the match and stuff.
That's true.
So remember when he blew his quad out against the Chris's?
Yeah.
Tag team match, that was wild. But yeah.
Let me ask y'all. So I know this is one of probably my weird OCD kind of things, but Mick Foley wearing the flannel to me always represented him being a little bit more in that mode than just the wanted dead poster shirt. I like the flannel look on Cactus. I think it just makes him look more badass.
Yeah. I mean,
how old is Triple H at this point?
That's a good question. I meant to look that up and I didn't get a chance to do that. So I would assume at this point, if Mick Foley's 34, Triple H is probably 27, 26 maybe. Oh, and here we've got so Mick Foley had promised in promos that he was going to jump off the cell and hit Triple H. So Triple H did so. I mean, they got that whole damn door locked up. Yeah, not just one. They went with like 15 goddamn chains and locks.
Yeah.
He was 31.
Oh, okay. Wow. Wow.
All right, y'all age weird, bro.
White people?
That far, but yes, you all skinned European Americans. That's your smart, bro. So
Sir, I am Sicilian American, please.
and you're white. I mean, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry.
I'm not from the mountains of Caucasus.
Oh man, it's just wild. Yeah, and watching this back, I thought they were older, but again, think about it. Like Triple H was like 55 now, so this ain't that far off from that. So I guess I can see where that made sense.
Yeah. I don't know.
Dang.
Like, I feel like wrestlers back in the 2000s and the 90s aged differently. I mean, you've got John Cena, who's like, what, 51 right now? You've got AJ Styles, it's like 47. Like, they age different, it feels like now than they did back then.
Oh, because they were mostly partying,
That's true. That's true.
and now
Yeah.
they're just all like taking all kinds of supplements, and their diets are better.
Doing it all super, super healthy.
Yeah. It's funny because it goes back to us talking about it a couple of months ago. Like when most wrestlers, like Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage and stuff, Vince would age them out around 34, 35, saying they're too old. And then they just went over to WCW, had like these extra second winded careers and stuff with these lucrative contracts.
Well, kind of extra. I mean, I mean, let's be honest. Like Randy Savage was always a great wrestler, so he was going to be able to carry that over. Hulk
Yeah.
Hogan was just an entertainer, and I mean, obviously, you could easily keep that up.
That's what she said.
Sponsored by Blue Chew.
Yo.
But no, it's funny to see see that dynamic shift so differently nowadays, like we were saying with everybody being
Oh, big back body drop out of the ring
you know,
down to the ring apron.
the thing I remember I loved about this match is how physical they both kept on getting with each other, and
Yeah.
it looked crazy, but like both of them still walked away and lived to fight another day without any like real big injuries coming out of this match. I mean the Royal Rumble.
Dang! Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert from 25 years ago, nobody died.
Yeah. And also, double spoiler alert: Mick Foley did not actually stay retired.
Oh, well, now you ruined WrestleMania 2000 for me. Oh, Triple H gonna hit that knee and send Mick Foley into the cage. That was kind of gnarly looking.
I take that back though. To be fair, Cactus Jack got retired in this match, not Mick Foley.
I feel like Cactus Jack came back later though. I mean, I cannot quote the moment he did, but I feel like he did later on.
I think it was WrestleMania with against Edge.
I don't think they called him Cactus Jack, but he came out in the wanted dead shirt, and yeah, he was Mick Foley, but he was dressing like Cactus. So, maybe that's the stipulation. This was the official like retirement of Cactus Jack. Oh, this part is so freaking gnarly. Like Triple H when he throws those stairs at Cactus, like it is like there's no cushion there. Like those are full on God. Those are full on like I don't know if they're steel, but those are heavy ass fucking stairs to be throwing at somebody.
Those are metal stairs, indeed. But I think they started to rig him to the point at this point where like it actually sounded worse than what it actually felt. Like it's metal, but it's a hollow aluminum type of metal.
Yeah, I mean, the way it sounds though, it hit whenever it hits the floor. I mean, that's some pretty good rigging if they can figure out how to make it sound that way. Got Triple H in the ring now with the steel chair, kind of taking a minute. McFoley, Cactus Jack, getting back up into
Is this pre Sledgehammer?
Yes. See, and right here, we got Triple H hitting McFoley with the chair. And I thought for a second, I'm like, oh, maybe this was when they stopped hitting him in the head. And then he fucking swings the chair like a goddamn baseball bat. I was
Well,
like,
he kind
oh,
of took it in the shoulder too, but yeah, it was there was some head there. I'll know.
True.
What does everybody want?
He started the chair shots to the head once he started mentioning CTE protocols more efficiently.
Yeah,
So
way to go, Aaron Hernandez.
this
Oh, too soon.
Oh, look. So this one right here, this chair shot is the fucking
Straight to the head.
Dude, I really thought that was going to be like a hard moment, and it just kind of let me down. Now, I will say, so JR has the fucking best comment right there when Mick Foley hits him with the chair in the nuts. He calls it barbaric birth control. I always wonder, like, if like in that moment right there, he goes for the pin. Foley pins, and of course it's a 2 count, but like, what if it would have been a 3 count? Like, you try to keep the fans on their toes and watching and like, getting the, expect the unexpected. What if he just counted to 3 and the match was over?
Oh, that would have been one of the most dangerous arenas in the world because I'm sure everybody would have rioted.
Dude, they're in Hartford. Nobody's going to riot. They're going to all go get in their BMWs and Mercedes. And go
People going to riot until you cheat them out of a terrible ending to one of the greatest matches of all times. There would have been marches. That arena would have been burned down. Especially the people in the nosebleed seats that are just peasant enough to buy the nosebleed seats.
As you know from experience. Oh, drop toe hold to McFoley right into the freaking chair. Beautiful. Well, while we've got a minute, George, what you drinking over there, homie?
Just water.
Disappointment level in your
Not very, nothing crazy.
George, there's no ice in your water, is there?
No. Nah, I want nothing to do with ice. Not after the last time. What the heck just happened? Did he like slip?
No,
yeah.
Well, like he slipped.
Going to the to the side of the cell, but it looked like he tripped on the mat.
Oh, I didn't even notice it. It's all Triple H's baby oil. I love that story about Andre the Giant hating Macho Man. The Macho Man being like, "Okay, brother, what are we doing tonight?" And Andre would just look at him and be like, "No baby oil, get out!" Oh, look at this. Oh man, a little slingshot from the ring stairs there.
Who does that hurt more? He looked like he went straight into the cage too, back of his head.
I would say there's no winner in that that exchange right there. Oh, Triple H is busted open. You got Mick Foley pounding the way on that dude.
It's always watching these matches back sometimes between Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Like you can tell, like the matches, like there's a point in most of these like big pay-per-view matches and main events where it's like it's a good match, and then they hit that one post and they gig themselves. And it's like, oh, now we're turning it up a notch because we got.
That's one of the notes that I have whenever I was watching this earlier. How good of a match would it have been to see Cactus Jack versus pilled up Shawn Michaels?
Oh, that would have been absolutely entertaining. I mean, we technically got that when it was Mankind versus Shawn.
Oh yeah, at Mind Games 97,
Yeah, but
96.
they didn't let that one run long enough. If they had a couple extra, like if they would have had more matches, like stipulation matches like this, I'm sure they would have had a good time together.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. So we got Cactus Jack kind of going for that opening on Triple H's forehead, a gash, if you will.
Do you guys know? I've always wondered why there's always big holes in between, like the links.
For
Like it's a regular.
No,
For what?
It's for the air to get through.
So you can have good ventilation.
It's a vent. Oh, we got Mick Foley up on the second rope. Oh God, another moment where like there's nobody's that's gonna win that exchange.
Yeah.
Oh, Triple H just kind of
There's nalgas.
yeah, just kind of
Nalgas
Triple
are
H laying on his side, fucking looking like he's twerking.
It looks like one of those animated elves on the shelf. You just start turning on, and just like it fell over to his side, and it's still like better.
Like a fucking Tickle Me Elmo.
Yeah, scary.
Oh,
Scary.
see,
Same time.
so look, so Mick Foley right there throws the damn stairs at the edge of the cage, and it just rips right through them. So I mean, it can't be that light when you're. I mean, like Triple H picked him up pretty easy. Mick Foley had an issue, and look at Mick Foley, Cactus Jack. Look right there, his hair gets stuck on the damn metal of the cage.
I think they gigged that part to make it be able to open up like that.
I mean, they may have, but still, like, it's not.
It's not forgiving because it's still
No,
metal.
not at all. You see it. I mean, look at Mick Foley's arm.
Yeah.
What was the point of Mick Foley going through the cage?
Just trying
initially?
to open it up.
I feel like this is one of those scenarios where like that particular part of the cell was supposed to open up fully.
Oh,
But
you
then,
try to make it, yeah.
yeah, and then there's just like
maybe.
the parts that didn't open up the right way.
Oh, this is gnarly right here. The Cactus Piledriver and the table doesn't give away.
They're on the wrong table. That's the problem. You're supposed to be on the Spanish announce table.
Well, no, that one's ready for the later incident. You can't do it on that one there.
Dang, the spoilers, dude. I'm watching this for the first time, god damn it. Actually, no, I feel like I probably would have seen this one because it's later it's one of the later ones.
Yeah, this I think this was one I watched over at Big Ernie's house. Oh, you got Stephanie McMahon tugging on Cactus Jack, which I'd be fine with her tugging on me anytime.
For the non-viewing audience, it does not mean what you think it means.
Oh, Cactus just like the pacing of the match is so good. Oh, goddamn, dude. You could have asked that guy to get up and grab something. You didn't have to dump him out like that. Oh, there's the Fink. Stand up. Oh, man. Okay. So the barbed wire bat, or not even bat. This is just a fucking 2x4 with a holder on it. Like, whoever rigged this did a terrible job.
I think this is one of the rare times he actually used barbed wire.
Yeah, and I thought to myself during the match, like,
oh, that was a lame hit, though.
but it still hit Triple H. I mean, even if it was on his forearm or wherever it may be, that's real barbed wire. Because I thought to myself, was this kind of the gimmick barbed wire from the Cactus Jack Randy Orton match? And then you'll see here in a minute, it's definitely not.
No, I was just wondering why it was that it had a loop at the end. I guess I see now.
I did the same thing whenever I was watching it for the first time. I'm like, why is there a fucking holder on it? Okay, now it makes sense. All right, we got Mick Foley on the edge of the Hell in a Cell. Triple H gonna hit him, hit him, hit him, and we already know the Spanish announce table is under him, so shit's gonna go bad. Oh, he's grinding the barbed wire into Mick Foley's head.
He's grinding on his face.
Ah!
Yeah,
And Mick
not for me.
Foley.
It doesn't have the same impact.
JR thought it did because damn, that dude is selling. Triple H, well, Mick Foley did kind of the Shawn Michaels bump off of the Hell in a Cell to go through the Spanish announce table.
Was this the same size as the Undertaker Mankind Hell in the Cell?
Yeah, I think they use the same cell for all of them.
No, so this one they reinforced. They learned the lessons from the other ones where there was, if you're going to be on top of that, you can't just put zip ties between chain links and expect that to hold up two dudes over 290 pounds.
Well, they may have reinforced it, but I think it's still the same
same
cell.
height.
Yeah. Benches are still.
It just looked a little smaller. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it was the angle.
Maybe the occasion is blue.
Oh, see, yeah, that wide angle that they're showing right now is definitely.
It may have been the that Kurt angle.
He doesn't like that Morse.
Oh, this is okay. This is a very sad moment. So the supreme athlete that Mick Foley is trying to throw a chair onto the fucking cell, and they get to the point where the camera guy is like, you know what, just put it on Triple H. Like, stop showing.
Yeah.
Stop showing. Like he tries multiple times, and like finally he just gives up.
Somebody probably helped him. Somebody else threw it up there for.
No, it never went up there. It never went up.
Okay. The first one came back down on him, didn't it?
And I think like the fourth one came down on the announcers. All right, you got Cactus Jack coming to the top. Right there is where you know it's not a gimmick barbed wire because it sticks to the flannel on Cactus Jack's back. And that's what I'm saying. Like right there, it gets stuck and now it's all unwound. So now not on in you know, whoever listening and stuff and y'all you know, growing up in a ranching town, barbed wire was kind of just everywhere. And that shit is awful. And now you've got the potential where if you hit him with it, not only are you hitting him with it, but the end of that is going to whip as well. So now it's even, I mean, it's even worse than what it was.
Why do they keep going back to Stephanie? Like, she's going to do something. This is so, like, don't get me wrong. I always enjoy watching Stephanie. She's hot. I get it. But at the same time, she brings nothing. She provides absolutely zero to this match at this particular point in time, except just being a nagging wife on the side. And I'm like, stop painting to her. It's kind of annoying us for a while.
Oh, shit. Cell's broken. No, you know what? I kind of disagree with that because they're showing her to show the concern that she has for Triple H getting fucking killed in this match, which Lathan spoiled that earlier. Nobody dies, but snap suplex onto the reinforced metal of the cell. But
but imagine if you would like that corner that's open right there. That's not a ring area. Like they would have fallen all the way to the mats. That's a larger fall.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would have been cool. Then somebody would have died. Nobody's broken in half.
All right, you got Cactus Jack, who is looking to drop that double arm DDT onto Triple H. At this point, it's just about survival. See, I think they show her just showing the concern. Like, she is legitimately worried about, in storyline, her husband. I don't know if they were really married at this point, but just showing that concern. I think that's the kind of the gist of why they keep showing her.
Yeah, I get she's the manager and she's out there, but like it's kind of one of those that like it's like a prop to the whole stage, and like it's kind of one of those that equally doesn't like give any extra added bonus presence.
Oh wow! What?
George, have you really never watched this?
I mean, if I did watch it, I don't remember it.
Oh man, it's about it. Yeah, shit's about to get crazy.
I did not expect the fire.
Yeah.
Where did he even get the stuff to light it? I didn't even. It was already there.
I'm assuming it was because, I mean, obviously he didn't throw it up on the cell because he couldn't throw shit up there. All right, Mick Foley calling for the Piledriver, which Mick Foley's Piledriver, the pulling Piledriver, has always been one of my favorites. But here we go. Watch this right here. Pointing at it. We're going to do the back body drop and through the fucking ring.
Ooh, and the ring gave way too.
Good God Almighty. Good God Almighty, that killed him.
At least they planned for this spot this time.
Oh, way to pull the curtain back for everybody.
Oh, you already knew.
What the fuck was that?
She looked wild there.
Yeah, concern for her husband, huh? Okay. We just realized she had a that we didn't know about.
Concern quickly turned to arousal.
Yeah.
She's looking at him and she's slick.
Speaking of slick, here's a commercial break from our sponsors from Blue Chew.
Now this part made me laugh because now Triple H is like, how the fuck am I going to get down there without either falling on him or like breaking myself? Look at him. He's like, okay, I'm good. I got the, okay.
Did they just leave the fire that's burning on top by itself?
Apparently, is it still up there?
It looks like it, like from the back. You can kind of see like it's still flaming.
I want the camera to just pan up to it and just show if they're still on fire.
You can see behind the black thing right there at the top of the screen. You can see a little bit of the flame still burning.
Oh,
I didn't even think about that. As many times I watched this match back.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
It'd be funny. It would have been, I don't know, awesome if it shit just went sideways with that.
It just starts dripping down like plastic or something, catches the thing on fire. Look at big old Mick Foley. Yeah, I love Mick Foley. Oh, we got some Triple H Nauticus going on. The camera needs Triple Nauticus. Look, when he throws those right hands, it's like a guy whenever you're walking and you feel kind of shit bunching up and you take like a wide step. Or you take a wide step and turn around like somebody's calling you. Pedigree, baby. All right. And 1, 2, and 3. We have a winner in the Hell in a Cell. Triple H retains the WWF Championship after a diabolical Hell in a Cell versus Cactus Jack. So we're going to keep following this up until Mick Foley exits the arena. You got Triple H standing there. And here we go with the stretcher coming out. What a match.
How do you think they planned for the hole in the ring?
That's a really good question. I get that it's probably gimmicked, but you've got to, if you're going to gimmick that corner of the ring, right, where it's going to give away, you got to be super careful during the match to not like break it. And that was the corner that he did the drop toe hold and all of that shit was going on. So that, yeah,
The only way I would think is like they have something that they can pull out of the way and it's gonna fall, but then that means there's probably somebody under the ring waiting the whole time,
Probably.
and that would suck.
maybe. But now you've got Cactus Jack, who is. Oh, here we go. Replays now. We've got Mick Foley, Cactus Jack getting back body dropped. Cage gives way. I love watching stuff like this back and watching the crowd at that moment when it happens. Because the crowd reaction is the best. Mick Foley, notorious. Even in some of the worst matches he's had physically, where he's just gotten the absolute dog shit beaten out of him. Like, he will not get stretchered to the back. I don't think he's ever been stretchered to the back. I think that was one of his, like, calling cards, was that he's, not getting stretchered out.
Part of the gimmick. He's tough. The one thing I do love, going back to the crowd shot, like, no, there's like tons of posters. There's no cameras out. Everybody's just like sitting there soaking it in for the most part. There's no flash photography. And of course, obviously, this is before camera phones, but like, there's something different or organic about being in the arena at that particular time versus like now when everybody's like got a phone out ready to record, me included.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know, back then you see like the flash, like everybody has their Polaroids, and then as soon as like a big spot or somebody's climbing up something, everybody was ready, and then all you see is ta 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 ta.
I missed that though. I missed that. I brought that up on one of our other shows, was that you had those big moments where the flash would go off. And I missed that. And that was something that I heard years ago, was one of the best quotes I ever heard, was don't live life through a lens. Be in the moment. You take your pictures, you do your thing, but live life in the moment. Oh, and here's an iconic Mick Foley moment. We've got the copyright coming up, and Mick Foley saying goodbye, which anybody who knows it knows that that's not goodbye. So we come to the end of the match. Great match. Let's y'all what'd y'all think? George, first time watching it in a long time, man. What'd you think?
I was expecting a little bit more out of it, but it was pretty brutal. It was a good Hell in a Cell.
We're gonna kind of.
I just expected a little bit more, but I don't know. I am a little bit left with like, oh, but I mean, what else could they do? They went pretty hardcore.
That they did. Lathan, give me some thoughts, because I know you got them.
Get out of my head, first of all. No, it was for the match that it was, like, I remember, like, this is one of those matches that like was a little bit more invested in as a kid, and watching it back today, I remember like a lot of the build up to it, the storyline that was going into it, and what we ended up getting out of it. But it was overall, the match was entertaining for what it was supposed to be. With me watching it back now and being a different, I guess 20 years removed from it, or 25 years removed from it now.
There you go.
Shit, bro. First of all, we're old. But also, like, with them always trying to one-up themselves in all these Hell in a Cell matches and spots over the years, like, for it being still remotely in its infancy, I think this was only like the 5th Hell in a Cell match they had at this point. It was entertaining. It was great, and it was. No, I won't say it's great. It was good, because at this point too, you kind of expected a couple of spots to be what they were. Because if it's Mick Foley involved in it, he's getting off the cage, we're going through the cage. And then of course now everybody like goes off the top of the cage in some way, shape, or form. So it was good. It wasn't their best match, but it was at the time one of the more memorable matches that they had together, especially with it being Mick Foley's retirement, his go away match. But you know, if you watched WrestleMania 2 months from now, you exactly know where this isn't going. But but
so how long does it go away for those 2 months, and that's it?
Well, basically, what ends up happening, George, is that like this is his retirement match, and like this is his career-ending match, so to speak. Like it was title versus career going into it. But what ended up happening, WrestleMania 2000 comes around, and it's a big man in every corner, and blah blah blah. Long story short, short story long. You got Rock, Chris Jericho, Big Show, and Chris Jericho. Wait, who am I missing? What are you saying no?
Rock, Big Show, Triple H,
yeah,
and Mick Foley.
Mick Foley.
Yeah, Jericho's not.
Oh, you're right. Oops. Just kidding. He was because he had the Intercontinental title match that night. That's right. My bad. Like, I don't have my computer in front of me. Like, I'm not the Shakespearean thespian I usually am at this type of thing. Leave me alone. So you're just trying to attack me now during Black History Month, Art.
Right. Hashtag build the wall. You know, I enjoyed the match, and yeah, we know that a few weeks from now we're gonna have Mick Foley brought back into the match. You have the Fatal 4-Way at WrestleMania 2000, but he doesn't come back as Cactus Jack, and so we Lathan and I were talking about this earlier. So maybe this is the retirement of Cactus Jack, but while we were watching the match, I remembered, and I brought it up, was that Cactus Jack faces Randy Orton during Randy Orton's Legend Killer phase. And so they have a pretty gnarly match that we're going to have to review at some point. But yeah, he comes back as Cactus Jack. So this was a weird time where you didn't have guys officially retiring. I mean, we're on the verge of WCW going out of business. I mean, they're gasping for air in February of 2000. And so you're in a weird spot where you've got a lot of older guys in WWF who were big young names early on who are now kind of winding down, and Mick Foley is included in there where you almost have to keep him going. And again, what we brought up was that dude's only 34 years old, but it's a different time. So I really enjoyed the match. What we're going to do right now, though, guys, is we're going to take our one and only commercial break, and then we are going to come back, rate the match, finish it up, and get done with it. So we'll be back in just a second.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome to Too Hard, Too Fast.
Too hard, too fast.
Too hard, too fast.
Too Hard, Too Fast.
Welcome to Too Hard, Too Fast.
Welcome back. Too Hard, Too Fast. Where we go off the rails and George has to worry about it. So here we go.
Find Too Hard, Too Fast podcast on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube.
Welcome back, everybody. We are going to give our final thoughts. We're going to finish this bitch up. We're going to go with Lathan because it is Black History Month, and as a celebration of him, Lathan, give us your final thoughts and your rating for this match, Bubba.
Ah, man, for this match, I'll say it's a 3.8. Looking at it in the bigger picture, storyline wise, and remembering how good the character development was and the story build for this was. And then the way it crescendoed to what it was for the moment. It ended the night on a really good note emotionally for the wrestling fan that's involved. But at the same time, too, like this is like not peak Triple H heel era, but like this is like a small insight. And man, like when Triple H is heel, like I like Paul Levesque as the COO right now, but like man, Triple H as the character, and especially being a heel character, oh my god, like clear, like I get why some people hated it for the time, but at the same time, it still made you like tune in every week to see what's going to happen. Especially like when because it was like DX was there, and then like it just had so many different like story beats and levels to it all at the same time. So it was a good, entertaining time to be a fan. You know, they had probably hit their stride. Triple H was giving the torch, and then it was at that moment too really cool to see him bring somebody like Mick Foley along and actually give him a bigger presence on the main event stage. Because at that point, you know, Mick Foley was kind of looked at as like he's not the stereotypical like. There's a clear night and day difference between Triple H physically and Mick Foley physically. And like Mick Foley wasn't supposed to be where he's at, but they gave him a chance. They gave him the ball to run with, and man, like Triple H helped him knock this son of a bitch out the park. And they definitely had plenty of good matches together. And this was just one of those not great matches, but really good matches that they put on to main event the show. So definitely held his weight up over time. It didn't age wrong, and always like going back and watching it for sure.
Fair enough, man. I think your analysis was spot on. I don't agree with your rating, but we'll see that here in a few minutes. George, Mr. George, what you got?
I feel like this is a little biased on feelings because after the Undertaker, Mankind or Mick Foley, whatever he called himself at that moment, like I feel like everybody just tries to recreate that craziness of it. So any match, not just this one or just any Hell in a Cell, like I'm just like waiting for the recipe or like the like everybody's bringing in, put it in, we're doing this, you're going off the cage, you're gonna get hit like with this. I hate to say it because I don't like the guy, but CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, they kind of did do a little extra, but I think because there was some accidental stuff to it, just like there was with Undertaker and Mankind, there was some accidental stuff. So Drew McIntyre getting busted open by that toolbox. So with this one, I feel like it was just the recipe. You're gonna go off the cage. You're gonna go through the cage. They had some more stuff in there that would, like I said, they went earlier. I said they went pretty hardcore. I was just expecting something different, but all I got was a recipe. So I'm going 3.7.
Okay, all right, fair enough, man. Y'all both make really good points for this match. So I agree with you, George. I think that ever since the Mick Foley or Mankind at the time Undertaker match at King of the Ring 1998, I think there is an unrealistic expectation for the match itself where, you know what, it's going to have to be crazy. There's going to have to be big spots. There's going to have to be shit that goes awry. I will say that this match to me is one of the better Hell in a Cell matches because it had the big spots, but it told a story as well. So this is going to be my highest rated match that I've ever done. I'm going to give it a 4.92.
Man, this guy's wild.
Let me tell you why. So the match itself, right, starts out So everything leading into this, Mick Foley is promising, Cactus Jack is promising that he's gonna come off the top of the cell onto Triple H. So there's already like a high expectation, right? So they get into the ring, the match starts. Immediately, Mick Foley's trying to get out of the ring, but you've got the chains around the door. So that's already X'd out. So your expectation goes from here to here. Well, as the match progresses, not only is it a really good wrestling match and telling a story, but the intensity keeps ticking up. Keeps ticking up little by little. You've got the stuff with the chair, you've got the stuff with the stairs, you've got just the level keeps going up. Well, then you get out of the ring and out of the cell. And now you've got this expectation that is up here. Well, you've got the pile driver on the table doesn't break. You've got the stuff going up on the cell. Everybody's climbing up the cell. Mick Foley comes off in a good spot that isn't really dangerous, but it looks good. Then you've got them on top of the cell. You've got the barbed wire. You've got the stuff sticking to Mick Foley's back. You've got the fire taking a whole different level. So you're on your expectation now that they're on top of the cell, you are way up here, which is telling a great story of progression. Then you've got the back body drop that sends Mick Foley to the ring collapses. We all know it's planned, it's a spot, but the visual elements of it are off the chain. They are phenomenal. Now, you've got Triple H getting back into the ring, the crowd chanting, Foley, Foley, Foley. Triple H getting pissed off trying to stop him. Mick Foley manages to get out of the crater, right? You've got Triple H who isn't wanting to pin him. Mick Foley gets out of the crater, still putting up a fight. You get the pedigree and the 1, 2, 3. The storytelling in this match was one of the best stories I've ever seen when it comes from the start to the finish. It is great, to quote Tony the Tiger. Like, it was a great match because of the storytelling. Wrestling in it is great, good, but the story is one of the best you'll ever see. And I think that's a testament to Triple H and Mick Foley being some of the best minds in professional wrestling. So, guys, final thoughts. Anything?
Stephanie was remarkably hot on the side, even though I know she was annoying to be there. But I forgot how pretty she was in her younger days too, before all the plastic.
I mean, I think she's still hot. I'd still let her tug on me.
And it was a good pay-per-view all the way around. I had to sit back and watch the whole thing. Like I know we were supposed to watch for the main event, but I was like, man, I want to do this. I'm gonna do it right. I want to watch the whole thing. This is good. It's that good shit from back in the day.
It was a good time. It was a good time for WWFE. It was I mean, you're in prime kind of attitude era, and WCW is doing awful at this point. So, yeah, it's a good time. Aunt Jemima down there on the bottom.
No, that's lunch lady Mercedes right there.
Oh, dang it. I like that name.
Eat my square slice of breakfast pizza.
If I ever decide to do drag, that's gonna be my name. Lunch Lady Mercedes. Lunch Lady Mercedes. Shit.
But George, any final thoughts on this match?
No, I think I said what I said. I stick to my recipe. Yes, the story that I think the way I'm coming off of it is that I'm not coming in with the story background, so I don't know the I don't know the story. I don't know the story background per se, unless whatever you guys are telling me right before recording. So
George,
I'm just purely judging it on the match itself.
So, George, let me ask you this. Not being desensitized to 20 years of like, oh shit spots on the Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
And also understanding this is like one of the earlier Hell in a Cell matches with Triple H and Cactus Jack wrestling. If you didn't have the 20 years before watching all the other Hell in a Cell matches, would this have changed the thought process on what you?
Probably, for sure. I think 100% I would have. Like
this
yeah, there's no doubt it would have.
This actually may have been Triple H's first Hell in a Cell.
It was.
Yeah.
I think it's a for sure. I would definitely change it, and I would go higher. Which probably sucks on the rating part that I just gave. But because in the past, everything that we've talked to, I always say, judging it as my first time seeing it, and I always try to just judge it for what it is at the time. This time I didn't, just because I'm so like, ugh, what the hell in cells for them doing the same recipe. But I think if I was watching that as a kid, I would still say, oh, that's kind of like the same thing they did in the previous stuff, or in the previous match with Undertaker. But I will still be like, oh my god, that's crazy.
I mean, we're 2 years at that point. We're 2 years removed from the Undertaker, Mankind, King of the Ring, and we're only 3 years removed from the first Hell in a Cell.
I think this was the third Hell in a Cell, actually, because I don't think they did one.
I think so. I think you're right. I think at this point, this was the third Hell in a Cell. If we're wrong, guys, tell us in the comments section. But yeah, I think this was the third Hell in a Cell. So Mick Foley was in 2 of the 3, and 0 for 2.
Bless his heart.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap this up now. We're going to finish it and get it done, baby. I appreciate y'all, guys. Lathan, George, good seeing you. And everybody, check out the socials and the TikTok for what our March event is going to be that we're going to cover. Our March, God. Hashtag me too with George's thumb. Jesus. We're going to let y'all know what we're going to review for March. March is WrestleMania season, baby. Well, normally anyway, not this year, apparently. We are going to figure something out. But everybody, thank you so much for checking in, for listening, for watching. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Rumble, YouTube. Go check us out. Let us know what you think. We'll see you in March. Holla at you, boy.